Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm here today with Tina John Shoy, right?
Yes.
That's S-H-O-Y. Tina is the new manager for the Frazee Event Center, where we're at today. Welcome aboard, Tina.
Thank you.
And you're from St. Cloud. And your original home is Starbuck?
Starbuck, Minnesota.
So she isn't too far from here, over southwest of here ways.
Yeah.
And what did you study at St. Cloud State when you were there?
Mass communications was my major. Communication studies was my minor.
Okay. And so she's going to be heading up the Frazee Event Center here for it. And now, since Tina is the manager, what are your hours now here at the?
I have daily hours here at the event center, so I'm going to be here from about 9 o'clock in the morning till at least 1 in the afternoon. You should be able to walk in and find me here.
And if they need to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you, Tina? What's your phone number?
Phone number down here would be 218-334-3224.
3423.
3423. Dyslexia.
No, I got the same problem. And that's in the phone book. It's a normal number for the Frazee Event Center, but now instead of, after it rings a few times, instead of going to our off sale, it will go to Tina's phone. So if she doesn't catch it, you will be able to get a hold of her anyway. So this should eliminate some of the miscommunications sometimes that we have dealing with events. And then plus also you've been checking over all the contracts this summer and trying to get a hold of the people, making sure everything is kosher and that we're ready to go. And also now you have an office right here in the building.
Yes.
So if you need to get a hold of Tina, call her at the 334-3423 number. And if you have any questions. Then how does it look for the year as far as most of your weekends are already booked pretty much?
Yeah.
Saturdays and Fridays?
Yep, Fridays and Saturdays are pretty booked up through the summer. There's still plenty of weekday hours that are open still, plenty of time that people can still book events here.
Well, yeah, and we are a day facility. This place can seat a lot of people. You can have a number of meetings in here. And we have a full kitchen here if you need to use it. And we see more use of it all the time now, especially with the fudge factory.
Yeah, people coming in just on a weekly basis to use the kitchen. Or.
And so if you have any needs, feel free to contact Tina. And, and of course, next month, one of the local events we have coming up is the talent show.
Yeah.
Talent showcase again.
Should be fun.
Oh yeah, and we've done this in the past like twice a year, and I don't believe we did it last fall. So usually the money's used to raise or provide money for the local food shelf, because it's always a good thing to help your neighbors. We know that around here. And any comments to our great audience out here in TV3 land, Tina?
Well, I just want to be a resource here for the people in Frazee, whether you want to do benefits or, I'm part of my job also is to help develop the community. So I want to be accessible and, people are welcome to come talk to me for anything. Yeah,
and we have the White Pine Room also, too.
Yeah.
So we have a number of facilities that you can rent, and we're willing to adapt for your event. And I appreciate you being on the show, Tina. We look forward to working with you. And in the future, you may see Tina once in a while taking my spot here, after she gets acclimated to what's going on here. I'm going to send her out, her and our camera lady, Raina, who's smiling, out in some of these rugged areas where it's too hard for me to get to. Send you out with Matt Davis on the North Country Trail here this spring, looking for ticks or something. So. But with that, we'll be right back with another segment of Spotlight on Frazee. Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm here today with Chief Mike Johnson.
Good morning, Mayor.
Well, Mike, what's coming up for spring? I mean, it's coming early.
Well, yeah, hopefully it stays.
Yeah, and I've noticed all the beautiful grass and stuff that's laying all over town.
Stuff, that's exactly what it is. What we're looking at doing this spring is the police department, we're going to enforce the blight and public nuisance ordinance. And we'd like to hit that right away this spring, and that way our town looks beautiful for the summer.
And we've got a lot of work to do.
Yep, we've got some issues around town, and we just want to remind folks that they can stop down at the office, at the city office. They can look at our ordinances if they'd like to. But just a few brief things that I'd like to touch on is the accumulation of decayed material around town. We've got animals, manure, refuse, junk, noxious weeds, and that's your job.
Yeah, weed inspector.
Also, dense smoke, noxious fumes is not allowed in town.
Yeah, no burning.
No burning. You can have a campfire, but that's a 3x3 fire is what that is. Limbs, trees, anything blocking intersections. We've got all unnecessary noises, loud parties, things like that. That's an ordinance. Anything blocking the public use of sidewalks or streets or alleys, that's a violation of the ordinance. One thing we've got is the unused machinery, junk vehicles, or not running vehicles. They have to be licensed. They have to be able to be moved on their own power. Some snowmobiles, just piles of rubbish. And what we're going to do is all three of us officers are going to go around town, and we'll identify these areas, and we will then send out letters to the landowners, and we'll give them a specific time, that date that it has to be cleaned up by, and we'll put in the letter what has to be cleaned up, and we'll mail it to them or hand deliver it, and we'll give them an opportunity, and if they have questions they can come and talk to me, but we want to work with the people to get our city cleaned up, and
it's really noticeable this year, you know.
It is, and we got such an early spring this year, but that is good because it gives us a chance to jump on it right away.
Now we got plenty of time to clean things up and get some of this stuff put away. And remember, you know, that our compost, the Tri-Powers compost site is open, so you can take your limbs and your brush out there and your weeds, put those in the big burn pile. If you have any leaves, take them out of the plastic bag and put them on the compost pile on the east side, because that stuff will be recycled as long as there isn't plastic and other junk in it. When we get other junk in it, we can't grind it, and it doesn't do us any good at all. It just leaves a mess. So we don't want that going on.
And the school also has Day of Caring coming up.
First weekend of May, I believe.
I believe it's May 5th.
May 5th,
somewhere around there. But the residents, they can contact the school to get signed up for that, and the kids will come and help them clean.
Yeah, help you do your raking.
Get raked up.
Get things done. And you know, remember, you know, when you're doing stuff, think about what your neighbors have to put up with. Do you want to live next door to somebody that has just a mess in their yard?
Right.
You know.
And also, Marion is sending out the newsletter at the beginning of April, and it also addresses some of the blight issues in there. Marion and I have worked together with that. And
so they can call down to the office, 334-4991, if they need anything.
Or they can call my office, 334-4993, and leave a message, or stop on in.
I appreciate you being on the program, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
And we appreciate your cooperation. And all of you out there, all through TV3 land, let's clean up this spring and get everything looking beautiful for all our neighbors and our friends. It's a safer community that way. And we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.